Hi everyone, this is GeoWill from Left Prime Productions Squared, and we're here tonight to do a little bit of work on Space Crusade. I actually recorded a little bit earlier, but I'm trying to figure out and fix a problem with play call that we're having. So this footage may or may not make it to the developer's blog, but what's going on is that play call is recording files, video files that are twice as long as the audio. So, for instance, if I were to record this for 10 minutes, the video file would be 20 minutes long. That's what's essentially happening. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out how to fix. Tried recording a little bit earlier, had the same problem. I installed a newer version of PlayClaw, and we're going to see if that fixes it or not. So while we're testing out if it works or not, we're just going to be working on some of the code here for the slots casino game. I went through earlier and I was discussing about how I had done things before and how it wasn't really working out too well. And then remembering that I had changed something in the test that I did that would make things work a lot quicker. I'm trying to find where the spot was that I did all this on. Yeah, here, down here. Where you could take the condition variables, and actually stack them together like this. The only problem with this is that you can't use these as like, in other words, if you had to look for a a different value for each of the variables, you couldn't use this way. This essentially means that every one of these variables that's stacked here or in line here equals this value here on this side. And before, what I was doing was essentially this. We'd have just, each value being done here per reel, and we'd do that for each reel. So we'd have like all this all the way out to here and even further in some cases. Instead, we take all that and we compress it down to this. It's still long as all heck, but it's not as long as the other ones, but it's about half the size of the other ones. But where it's really going to pay off is more up in here, where we have on the last ones here, because you only have one reel that has all that stuff on it. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't pay off there. It'd still have all that there, but it's on the bell things. Like this, you have reel 1, 2, and 3. You could just combine those all into one thing, essentially, by just doing this. And then you have the fourth reel there. That's different. So it's not going to have as great an effect on the code as I thought it was going to, but it will have some. The one place that will have the most effect, though, is going to be on like these here, because you could just say, just do what we had over there, just down there. But just go T reel 2, T reel 3, and T reel 4, all equal jackpot. No screwing around with all this other crap. No ands or extra parentheses. Just do that, and take that longer line down to just a really simple thing. You can't do it on everything, but on those first ones, it'll really help cut down on that. So you essentially take 103 characters down to 66. So you're really chopping it in half almost. Not quite, but almost. Maybe 60%. So rather than be 40% taken out, removed, replaced with the smaller code. That's kind of what you would do with this is essentially a refactor. It's what, if I think about it now, we're taking something that's huge and complicated like this, like not very huge but somewhat complicated like this, and turning it into something very small and compact, but that does the same thing. And that's essentially what a refactoring does. So essentially that's a refactored version of this, is how you would think of that. And we'll go ahead and do that with all these other ones. Actually, what we could just do, make this real easy. Since we're using T-Real 1 to 4 on all of these, we can just take all of them and just copy paste and make it really simple. And we just take out the thing there and all this. And there you have it. Easy as that. What's really going to be interesting though is making the now essentially with this, since we're using all the numbers, we have the same thing, but we do it for each number, and there's 14 numbers, 1 to 6 and 8 to 15. 7's one of the special ones, so we don't include it in these sections here. It has its own section up here. I skipped over a few. Wow. Thought that was a little too quick. Anyways, as I was saying though, the interesting thing is going to be working on the poker and blackjack code, because what we have to do is I have to create some kind of AI that will actually behave more like a person would, as far as, you know, bluffing and how they would play tactically. If you played Poker Night 2, you know what I'm talking about when I say that there's really some strange behaviors on that game, especially from Max. At a certain point, Max will just do nothing except go all in when there's a certain amount that's been bet, and it's really annoying because then you have to either fold or, you know, go all in, and you have no ability to control what's going on with the chips, and so you end up more often than not getting busted out because of it. So I have to create something that doesn't do that, but also is good enough that it's going to challenge the player. So now what we have to do is we have to go through all this stuff, and we need to apply this to it. So in other words, we have this here. Now, what the problem here is that we need to take into consideration the fact that we still need some of this stuff here, because we're only doing 3 out of 4 reels, so we don't need that one for that. And we also have to take into consideration that we don't change any of the parentheses; those all stay the same. All we're changing is the stuff in between them. So in this case, since bar is 3, we take out reel 3 and we leave 4, and then we just take out everything around 3. Like that. I think we have one too many parentheses here though. Yeah. We only need 2 and I had 3 there. Alright, same process here, except we take 2 out this time, and then we work around the 2, and then on this one, 1 is bar, so we want to put it over on this and take 1 off. Damn it. Hate when it does that. So you can already see that we've really decreased the amount of code being used here. It went from being this long out to here to just being out to here. So it's not really too much of a decrease, but it's still a decrease. From 403 to 276 essentially. And we also have one extra parenthesis on there, so that's kind of odd. I essentially want to do that for all of these now. Just kind of shorten them up a bit, make them a little less complicated. Really what we could do is just do this. And now whatever is bar, we turn to 7 using the replace tool here. The only one that we can't do this way is the very last lines, because we have the numbers in there and it's just going to be not very economical to do it this way. I mean, you could, but it would just be insane because you'd have a huge thing down in here to replace with. So on this one, we just need to essentially do it the hard way, old-fashioned way here. Take out what we don't need, leave everything else. And then make sure we get the right number of commas. And no, we don't. And now we do. Not commas, parentheses. So we keep the 2 there, then just take everything else out behind it. Then we have this one. Same situation as the other one up there. Let's put that in, change it to 2, 3, 4. And take off all this stuff here. Damn. Trying to figure out where all these parentheses go to. So Okay, something is really, so that's that one. This one should be... there's one missing from here. Okay. Now this one goes out to... and then we have one extra on the end. Again, really complicated trying to get all that stuff right. So that one's still long as all hell, but nothing we can do about it for the moment. So you have to do it this way because these are not, these don't store ints, so you can't treat them like ints. You can't say, you know, okay, so t-real 4 less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 8 or whatever. I actually had it going that way before I realized that that was wrong. So I'd done it that way during my whole deluded out of my mind, being sick and sleep deprived state. And I came back and looked at it and said, wait, what the hell? This isn't going to work. So you have to do each number individually, or some other way that I haven't thought of yet that would, you know, compress it down. But this is what we can do for this right now. And we actually used that also down here on the numbers, I think you saw, just to keep everything a little bit shorter. Because these things were like 3,000 characters long, these lines down there, for each of these. Because we'd have, you know, a whole row of 14 conditional statements checking for each individual reel. And this one was longer than 3,000. This one's about 3,023 or so. And we've actually gotten it down from that to 2008. So we really shrunk them down quite a bit. But they're still pretty long. We'll have to go through and try doing that, you know, the whole thing with, we do it just over Jackpot with everything else. That's just going to take time. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording and see if the footage is fixed yet or not. Should have been a long enough time for that kind of unevenness to have sprung up. So I'm going to go see if that is the case or not. And if it is still not working right, then I don't know, I'm going to go complain on the forum. I actually did complain on the forums. So if it is, I'm just going to go record Xenosaga 2 on Legaia. So I was going to restart my Guild 2 and Civilization 5 walkthroughs if I get it to work after doing a little bit of recording for Xenosaga 2, but if it's not going to, I'll just do Xenosaga 2 and Legaia for the rest of the night. So I will be back whenever I restart recording for the 10th Developers Vlog, and until then, this is GOL, and I will see you later. Okay, Hey everyone, this is GOL from F-Man Productions Squared, and we're back to work on some more of the code for Space Crusade's 10th Developers Vlog. The last time I did some recording, I don't think the footage was used because we were having problems with problems with PlayClaw. And what was going on is that the video was recording twice as long as the audio was. Extra frame getting put, 2 frames recorded per frame that was supposed to be recorded or something. I don't know. It's still a problem, but I've managed to kind of lessen the impact by having to just restart PlayClaw every time I use it. I don't really know what the hell's going on with it, but it's just something that started up recently. Been very annoying. I may actually reinstall the previous version that it wasn't happening on, but then again, I'm not. It might be related to the driver though, because I have updated that recently. But whatever, that doesn't have anything to do with this. So last time I did some recording, I essentially went through and talked about how I think slots are down here. How the slots thing was working, and then how I figured out how I could do this comma variable list for one specific value of a to compare against, and started fixing everything up to go with that format, because it would really lessen the amount of code, or lessen the number of characters per code line, because this used to be about 5 times longer than it is. It only goes out to 267 now, looking at the column number down there, and it used to go out to like 1,000 something before, because we had to have, each one of these had to have its own section, and so it was multiplied. But we got all that finished, and that was really all that had to be done for the slots. Although this is actually, I did place this into its own function instead of having it in the actual slots function. So here's the slots game code for how it works, and then just goes through, gets the random string, and then from the slot that's being slot array that's being used, and then prints that out, then sends the code over to this, where it checks to see what kind of combinations were achieved, and then this returns the number of chips to add based on whatever combinations are made, or if no combinations are made, returns 0. And that's basically that. Now what we're going to be working on today is going to be a lot more complex. We're going to be trying to start work on the AI. So, and start by creating the function, having like a tutorial messages and stuff to kind of explain the game and how it's played, and what you can win and whatnot. So first we need to clear up here. This is all with the roulette. No, I guess I couldn't, because SCB Jack or SC Blackjack or Station Casino Blackjack, as it were. Options that deal with, I don't think I had them actually need it. This is not like blackjack or roulette or blackjack. You don't actually one player kind of on the roulette. So just then we have that, and a section about how to bet and how to win. With the basic, actually played a lot of blackjack as kind of or under 21 points. Pressure. If you're at 18, you have to weigh chances or a mind trick rather than you on the other. Again, that's why it's a little more cool to 21. That there's choice. So doubling, I think splitting is when you have 2 cards of similar value. Again, Wikipedia is our... Let's add that in. Let's put a comma here. Okay, so I got that. Alright, back over to here now. So yeah, probability. Yeah, 2 cards have, let's see, double. Alright, here we go. So, hit, take a card, stand, end their turn, double, wager, take single card and finish. And split, which is 2 cards of the same value, separate them to make 2 hands. The question is with this though is if you split, do you also have to bet? Double down. Decision of. Or not. Let's do this. Let's go execute. Oh, card. The player's bet. Okay. Now, what I do with this, I'll just go back through and check this into, and make sure it's all there's no typos or whatnot later on though. So now next we do the there are also actions which so there. Equal to that bet, totaling 5 total of processing. scbj menu 1 to jt menu. Of course, that's going to be where we put all the code in for everything. So, message processing, message proc.h, int sc bj menu 1, casino, void scbjt menu, casino, blackjack, and then we'll go add those to the implementation file. So how do we how to play, I guess just how to play. Play blackjack. What the hell am I thinking? Done. I think it's only, oh here, this one, too. I think those are the only 3 times we use. Okay, so simple as that. This one I believe we have to put it in a while loop. Or pchoice 99, yeah. Well, pchoice is not 0. how do we do these up here? Okay, we had that, then we did the thing in addition to it. Okay, like a heading, if you will. So it would have been a 1. I believe, yeah. Again. Case 1. Case 2. Message 219. Or 18. 1819, yeah. That's essentially all we have to do with that now. So, that's all out of the way. And now, we need to consider how we're going to do this. Else BID let's see. Oh, I see. No, it's supposed to be a string. No, it's BID I-1. Why did I do that? Where is it needed? I'll reuse quite a bit of the code from the roulette AI setting up thing that we have. Greater than 0, clear it. Random number of players. Okay, nice. So we can use it for this too. Function for it. We just leave it as CAI and reuse it on this one. So slots, blackjack. Okay. How did we use it on? Did we put it first, or I think we did it here. First. So let's move it up here. You shouldn't have this really resending it every time. I realized that on the slots code when I was working on that, so that's a good thing I checked. That would have made this code not work. So that's essentially was a bug caused by having code in the wrong place. Cards though too, not just SC. AI. So how's the function again? Setup CAI. Dir. And then SC black. And again, we'll do the and for want to have, it'll have to be done with strings, obviously, I think. So I think it'd just be way too much code to have to also 11 to 13 and turn those into face cards, through code instead of just having it, hearts, king, or whatever, So how this is gonna work is we're gonna have the deck things down here. So we got the string cards. Well, we have to have those like what we had for up here, to have the constructor just like those were. So how this will work now is we'll go through, and after all this stuff, so we have cards equals, and we'll just come back through and add the parenthesis things in after that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen. Let's just take this and copy paste it 4 times. Just do is we take this, clubs, and spades. And we just take this and we can copy paste it. As they get a little confusing when you're dealing with the actual value of whatever it's supposed to be. So we can split it so what we'll do is we'll take this and we will put it through a for loop that'll have 51 0 greater than or equal to 0. We'll have it choose something out of here, and then we'll essentially have to 494 and line 5 notes. So that's about 100 lines. 494 to that's interesting. $494 to 594 49. No, 549 and 94. Same numbers though, which is interesting. I just want to make sure we have all the things in there. So, but there's also 2 jokers, isn't there? True. In most decks, they also include 2 joker cards. So 549, 494. That's strange. Oh, the ones. There shouldn't be ones. Ones are aces. Derp. The aces should be first, too. Damn, an oversight. Alright, you want that. probably somebody watching this going, "Hey, you dumbass, aces are the ones." Well, I heard you. If I'm still taking 4, so that's 49 instead of 494. Interesting. So 549, 494. All right, so or 590, 540. So that's going to be a 3. That was a 14. No, 13. 2. No. 1. Let's see. 545, 494. Okay, so got the 4 there. 1, 14. So minus 9 is 5, and 5 minus 4 is 1. So 51. So according to this, we're still missing 1 card somewhere. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All the numbers are there. The deck's supposed to be 52 cards. So let's do it this way. Let's add 52 to this bastard, and we should get 546. We are missing. We are. Let me go ahead and restart recording real quick. So as you're probably not just watching what I'm talking about here. 3 seconds. Nobody has a F. That's crazy. Ace cards, Jack, Queens, and 10, Jack, King, and Queen. And then... So, I know... And unless some... Which I think is... Well, it could be, but I don't think it is. That's 51 and not 52. Here where we're setting up the card. I wish put it at the very bottom. Oops. Screw it, put it at the very... Let's see, so I want to do... See, I want to use be valid. And we want to use, we want to clear it as well. Make sure we clear it up here. I think we do. I think I have the players. Yeah. Alright, so... what the hell did I call it? The function. Call it anything, so I'm okay, we don't need anything past. So, be valid equals false. This is what we want. Really 51, 0 to 51. So, so long as I is greater than or equal to 0. So when it goes through and hits -1, then it becomes untrue, I guess. Or we'll have a index problem and we'll realize, okay, we gotta change that a bit. I plus, or I minus minus. I'm gonna say minus minus because we are subtracting from I, not adding to it. Now, while be valid is false, which it starts out as. So, now we run the random, or one random. So, what's the it's cards, right? No, that's the vector. We want the array. SC deck. R in random 0 to 51. Then we say the deck push backwards are int 1. Alright, so get a random card. That card is not already present. So so if scdv10 dot size equals 0, or does not equal 0, because we want to have it have something in it first. If not, then we just skip over that part. Else and of course we also need to do the alright, so if it's be valid to true. Of course, once the loop is done, you want to set it back to false so that it goes back through it. Or rather, we just do it this way. That way it's getting reset in the loop that way. You don't have to use it twice. This set. So if scdec go through each of the elements and try to find out if it's equal to one that's already there. So what we do is we would go so for dot size, we want to say if cards are int 1 equals deck. No. And I want the if to be if I2 equals. In other words, if we've gone through the entire deck and nothing has just trying to think of all the angles of what can go wrong when I'm working on this kind of stuff. So if we do this, no, it shouldn't be a problem because we're not using two different sources. We're using one source, and so there's only be one. Well, I was trying to just well, yeah, see, so if we have a value that's near the end of the vector, and we were checking earlier on, it's still not going to equal it. But the is that, and won't have checked. We need to make sure that we check. Crap. So, we want to see if a value is equal to what's there. So, but we also want to make sure that we check against all the values in the vector before we add it. So, God, this is complicated. Okay. No, we want to see if there is one that is the same. So we want to say equals. And if it there, then we use break. Because if it does exist, then we don't want to continue any longer. We want to redo the random. I had it kind of backwards there, and that's why I was thinking, wait a second, there's something not right there. Now, if and none of them are equal, be able to check this. Because if we did it that way, we wouldn't check the very last element in the array if we did it the way it was. So so if we've gone through all the elements and none of them are equal, then we say scdec dot push back and then cards rint1, and then b valid equals true. We're looping through this. Happen within the single iteration of the for loop. We get a new rint random int between 0 and 51, and then we check to see if there's something inside of the vector, this scdv10. If there's nothing there, then we skip this part and just add the first element to it directly. B valid true, and then we go to the next element up here. This gets set to false, and we go through again. New random value. This time we're going to hit this because there's now an element in scdv10, and the size is going to be 1. So we then go through in a second for loop, and we iterate through the number of the number of elements, and we say, okay, scdv10, then we do this and add the scdv10, then we check to see if the current element is equal to the card that we have randomly selected. If it is, then we break out and restart the while loop. What's going on with the footage? I also have an idea for that now. Maybe I'm going to try and restart my computer and see what happens. But let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and update the log, change log real quick, and then we'll end this. So we are in. That makes a lot of sense. So let's see, 14 bold, May 2014. Actually, it's 12, not 14. Take out the bold, 14. So, game. We'll go database first. Game. And message processing. I believe it's 2 between months and 3 between 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I guess it's 4 between months. That's strange. In the past on this. In April. So I need a month that's not friggin' separated by a page break. Okay, so it should be 2 between the months and 3 between years. That's what I thought. It actually got to a point Word's no longer able to display the spell check things in here. I have no clue why, but it's just ridiculous. 1, 2. We'll fix that for April as well. Alright. Yeah. And these middle ones are going to be 12. No bold. Alright, so message processing. Added. And 5, 2. So that would be SC Blackjack menu 1 and SC BJT menu. Game. Five, 2, and then we'll add 'Alright, so that's going to be it for it is entertaining and And I will see you probably in a couple days when I get back into recording the developer's vlog. I think the next thing we'll probably be working on, though, is going to be the audio rather than the code, because I want to get back into more, get into the audio and get some work done on the pre-battle audio clip as well. Until then, I will see you later.